Live? Are we live now? Let me go quickly take a look in Chrome. I'm looking at myself. It says I should be live in 13 minutes, but I know that I clicked the button to go live. Not sure what that's about. Let me refresh the page. And I am live. Cool. Hello, hello. So what I found is that me hotspotting to my laptop is actually faster for upload speed. So, yeah. I am currently hotspotting over to my laptop instead of using the AT&T internet because I get bad cell service in this room. So that's just how I do it when I need good upload speed. For most purposes and download speed, that's fine, but when it comes to live streaming, I need to have it hooked up in a weird way. But got all that set up, and we can go ahead and get started. I'm going to go do another ping in my server, letting everybody know that the stream has started. Everyone started a bit early. Go. My day's gone pretty well. I made salmon for the first time, pan-fried. It was pretty damn good. It maybe was a little bit overcooked, but for a first attempt, it was really, really good. I didn't take a picture of it, but you're just gonna need to trust me on that one. So, the goal for this stream is, of course, we're going to be talking about a bunch of rituals. And, oh, peach crisp. That sounds fun. I want to get into making more dessert stuff in my cast iron pan. Because, like, I can heat up the cast iron pan and get, like, really nice crusts on stuff. So I want to get into doing that kind of thing. But, in any case, our goal for this stream is we are going to fill out this page of rituals that I'm going to talk about at various level ranges. So that way I can make a sequel of the recent video. And if I go to my YouTube studio page, I'm going to just quickly do that in another tab, so I'm not revealing stuff I shouldn't reveal. Because what I want to show is a way I can show just my recent 10 videos. There's no way for me to do that without me showing too much information, but in any case, that video did better than most GM guides I have made or most GM-focused videos, so I want to make a sequel to it because I also think rituals are not very touched on. So I think that it hits a double whammy of interesting things. And we will be getting to just about every ritual in the game, hopefully. If we do end up needing to end early, I'm going to try and get to the end of one of these level ranges and do a follow-up stream tomorrow or the day after, where we go through the rest of them. And I decided to stream really late at night for me because that's the time I can really have the house to myself. And when my grandpa's asleep without his hearing aids, it will take a lot to wake him up via sound, so I'm perfectly fine doing this. In any case, you can also see the song that's playing at the bottom of the screen down here where you can see my cursor. But yeah, with that, we can go ahead and get going. Even though it's Tanzia, we're going to talk about all the ones that are currently in PF2e easy. So we are looking at the Player Core 2 versions of these rituals where applicable. I didn't actually sign up for the preview cycle of Tanzia because I was under the implication that it would be a lore book, and I find it very hard to make videos about lore, given the nature of my channel and the types of videos I like to make. So I just kind of should ask to get more review copies of books generally. But that's a thing about how the Consecration Senate for the review copies works. You always have to submit a notice in at the start of every quarter of what things you want to review that quarter. And they will give you a list of their planned releases, and you will select which ones you are going to make content about. And so whatever I sign up for, I have to then make some content about. Yansha, I don't have the book, so I don't know the pronunciation, but... Like, lore is something I use to then springboard my own games off of, but I tend to not run the bog standard Galarian setting very often, so it's not something that I particularly super ultra care about. It's for a different type of player than me, and that's perfectly fine. This game's big enough for all types. Generally, I'm not as excited by the Lost Omen books, but I am still really excited by everything that's happening along with the God Pantheon and all the releases that will be happening around that. So, I am really looking forward to War of the Immortals, and I'm looking forward to see how the Mythic rules come into play. I'm looking forward to Exemplar. Animist, I'm fine with Animist, but I'm really looking forward to Exemplar. And I think I have stalled enough. So, I also looked through Ritualist before the stream started. Nothing in there is too exciting. If the ritual is good, then Ritualist helps you do it slightly better. But it's not like a necessity of a thing you want if you want to use rituals as a part of your character. I think everything in Ritualist is nice to have. If you have free archetype and rituals are a big part of your campaign, it could be worth a pickup if you don't have another option that's good for your kit. For example, if you are something like a kineticist, which naturally doesn't archetype that well, you already have medic, and you don't really need another archetype. Ritualist could be better than Acrobat in that scenario, and things like that. So, I am personally not that excited by, and I just closed down the tab PF2e about all the rituals. I have no idea what the butterfly bender even is, so... Oh, this is the rules for rituals, which I guess is useful, but it's not what I wanted. So, our goal is we are going to go into the remaster version, and we are going to review quite a few things. But my hope is that we will be able to get through a lot of it, and whatever is left will be one more stream. But if it turns out to go fast, we might do all of it today. So, I am also going to skip over, because I'm looking at world building, I'm going to skip over things with stringent requirements about you must be an angel, you must be a demon, and things of that nature. We can flip them open and see generally what it's about, but I'm looking at things that humanoids can use. And that would be, like, big things for, like, towns and such. So Elemental Sentinel requires Expert Arcana, or Occultism Expert, and you target an object. So this has requirements that could be useful, so let's see what it does. Cost, precious materials, rare incense, 15 gold piece per spell level. Interesting. Spell level, not rank, so this is an older one. Secrets Magic, yep. Tiny elemental wisp within a single object, usually mirror, statue, or other mundane-looking item, to serve as an alarm. Shattering or otherwise destroying the object frees the wisp and ends ritual's effect. Okay. Willingly serves you. Telepathically contacts you within range of blah blah blah. And then you can heighten it to get higher perception bonfires, give it special senses, etc., etc. So this is basically alarm. Sure. It's fine. Like, this is an automatic alert system, and 500 feet is like... What is that in terms of miles? 10th of a mile? A little less than that? That's not a long distance. What is 500 feet in kilometers? Yeah, that's nothing. I'm not casting what do you tell... I should have actual chat open and not like... Yeah. So, when it comes to rituals, you don't need to be a caster to use them, but they will usually require skills that are more common on casters. Like this one you can see requires Arcana and Occultism. So Elemental Sentinel will be more commonly used on things like casters. But, you know, it's fine. It's nothing to write home about though, so we're gonna move on. So Animate Object, let's see here, requires Expert Arcana and a secondary crafter. 10 feet, 1 object, blah blah. Rare oils, see creature creation rituals. Creature creation rituals, so here's the cost based on the type of creature you're trying to create. That's fair. Transform the target to animated object, blah blah blah. So animate object will allow us to make it a minion, and it can follow a single command if it is too high rank or high level to be a minion. Yeah, sure. So I could see this definitely being one that people will use for all kinds of stuff, because I could see this being a thing that somebody does in order to get a bunch of workers, because you could have suits of armor then be workers in a factory, and because there's a ritual, this does not have a duration that then falls off. So you do it once and you say, hey, magical suit of armor, you hammer this, and if somebody enters that door without saying the password, attack them. And you can then have a very simple both security system and workforce that works 24 hours a day. Honestly, this seems like a pretty solid one to go into our level 1 to 5 list. I'm actually going to change these to ranks. Put this into heading 2. So yeah. Yeah, I think all the animation spells that will create creatures will be more common in my list, just because I think that generally these are going to just be useful for keeping track of factories, doing supply line security. A lot of stuff can be useful for just creating creatures. Consecrate. So some people are now getting ads. I'm going to be using this time to pour myself a drink. So Consecrate has a cast time of 3 days, and it has a pretty decent cost. 20 GP times the spell's rank, which isn't that much but it's a low rank ritual, it's kind of that cheap. Secondary casters must be worshippers of your religion. Pretty decently long cast time. Primary check of religion. Secondary checks crafting or performance. Blah blah blah. Consecrate select your deity, chanting praises, and creating sacred space. Follows deity, gain +1 bonus to all this stuff. Create anathema to deity. Take a penalty to those rolls. Okay. And might give your followers that deity sanctification strikes? Sure. And yeah, so cool. It just lets you make an area that it follows a deity. You know what, honestly, pretty useful. Because this is a pretty decent range, because you can have a few of them to cover an entire larger church. And you can... I don't know why you'd really upcast it that much, because it doesn't really heighten until it's heightened 7. But it is still a second rank ritual. Lets you just make a religion check. It's pretty easy to use as a ritual, but this is going to be another thing that you'll see in every church. I'm going to replace all these with their title. So I can definitely see this one having some use. Create undead. I'm going to assume that's the same thing as the other creation one. Creature creation table. So this is the same thing that I said as the previous one, but this time I'm going to simply post it as you get a skeleton, you get a worker, you get the same stuff that I was talking about before. So I'm going to put in the same list as the other one. Go ahead and replace the title. I'm not going to go over this too much. You need to have a casting tradition that is able to raise undead with the spell, or like have that skill expert, which fair. Secondary check religion, because you need somebody else to help you channel magical energies. Sure, I get that. Yeah, it seems fine. Heartbond. This is like the marriage ritual thing. So, cast time for an hour. Segmented beverages such as matching rings or other tokens worth 20 gold pieces per secondary caster. Secondary cast 2 or more. Age religion expert. Secondary checks diplomacy society. Okay, sure. Magical bond between 2 or more willing creatures who are secondary cast ritual must share genuine affection for one another. As part of the ritual, all members of the bond receive a ring, amulet, or similar token to symbolize their shared connection. Yep, that is true. They lose effects more than a token. The bond is broken if either token is destroyed. Blah, blah, blah. They can benefit in the heightened version by just paying difference in cost, sure. Once per day, each bond creature can use 2-action activity to locate the other one. Yeah. Then cast message innately targeting the other one. Sure. Normal success, just had to do that. Critical failure effect is funny. Generally, I think this one would be useful for player characters. Because this is a nice little effect. It isn't that expensive. Because this is only going to be 20 GP total per secondary caster. And genuine affection, it does not say that this must actually be love. It just says genuine affection, and, you know, friendship is genuine affection. Is anybody in chat gonna disagree with me on that? That friendship is a genuine affection? Nobody in chat seems to be yelling at me yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume that chat will agree with me. So, therefore, you can have your adventuring party all fork up 20 gold pieces, have this ritual, every single member of your adventuring party now has the ability to cast message. This is very relevant. And message being an innate spell means that it is going to heighten with your character level. So that means the message will get the longer and longer reaches, because I'm pretty sure message does that. Yeah, so it'll increase range to 500 feet. Oh yeah, it's definitely not as bad as D&D's marriage meta, where you're constantly killing off your spouses to get remarried. And it's not a game-breaking effect, but it's interesting, and I'm gonna make a note of it. Yes, the party will get married for tax reasons. Yes, yes, yes. But yeah, that's a very interesting one. Heartbond actually has a lot of sauce to it. And I'm specifically calling out that it's not love, because then it would be completely optimal to have a polycule adventuring party, which, while funny, maybe isn't something that should be purely optimal for all purposes, but I appreciate that you can do it that way. It still works. You just need to have genuine affection for each other. I don't know how to pronounce this. Let's see here. Paste and search.
Inveigle.
Inveigle. That's how Google decided to pronounce it. So, Inveigle requires rare oils with total value of 10 GP times target's level. Scaling off of target's level already makes it interesting. This is telling us that's going to do something interesting. Duration, a year or until dismissed. So this is like a campaign of duration. One creature, blah, 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 blah. So you need to upcast your ritual if you're hitting a higher level creature. You make the target helpful to you. Generally difficult to cast this ritual unless target is willing or restrained. Weird. This is definitely a villainous ritual that you'd use to like cast on the king. As like an advisor, you'd particularly do the hide and 6th rank one. Because if you know the king is going to be in his castle all day doing paperwork, you can just launch this at the king and you just get like, I don't know, some blood or something somehow. Like, I could see it. And this means that kings need to be very, very careful about who gets to touch their nail clippings. This is exactly what we're looking for. This is going in the list of things that the party will need to deal with. And oh boy, I am sorry for my players, this is giving me ideas. We are cooking, chat. We are cooking. I think I accidentally, so let's go ahead, copy this, paste it here. Google Sheets isn't really kind of going... Yeah, it should go in the 6th rank category. I think you're right. Yeah. You're absolutely correct. Yeah, it should go there. Marinating them like a game of Among Us. I have nothing more to say on this topic, but I will note that Google says that the word means to persuade someone to do something by means of deception or flattery. So I think that means that if you're an advisor to that king, you could cast this ritual on them, and you may be able to hide it with deception if you're high enough level, but if you're high enough level, just use the upcasted version. I don't know. I don't think the downcasted version is going to be that useful. And I want to quickly mention, before people get too many ideas, there is something known as the, Pathfinder baseline, which goes over things that are likely and you should not include in your, to be in the game and you should exclude from the game. And I'm going to just highlight this line here as this is something Paizo does not want player characters to be using. At least not for like, there is a line of you should not cross this when it comes to mind control magics. And this is one that you need to be careful with if you're giving it to your players. You need to be careful how you're using it as a GM, because if you let the mind control magic get truly reprehensible, that is going to make a lot of people uncomfortable. And so you need to be sure that the group is cool with that type of game. You get that type of content approved beforehand, etc., etc. I know it's kind of a classical fantasy thing to have the advisor manipulating the king, but yeah. Cast the long range version to make them willing to put under the long duration version. Easy. I mean, yeah. Because it really does. Like, all this stuff really leads to, yeah. yeah, it kind of leads to other parts of the baseline, but this is called out as like a thing you need to be worried about. In any case, but 1 week for blood, hair, scales, and the like. Yeah, you can get a week, but if you're already an advisor, you would then say, hey, why don't we get your portrait taken, set your always in this room, and then you have people do the ritual while you're there. Range of 10 feet, but like, if one of you there is an artist and they're doing a painting, you know, but I guess if you're an advisor, you're already seen as helpful. I definitely think that the Haydn version is the more interesting one here. Because, like, if you are leader of the Thieves Guild, I could see you doing this to be added to the King's Advisor Cabinet, and then getting some kind of shenanigan trying to do this ritual here that the party then needs to disrupt. I could see it being like a world-building thing. I could see it being an adventure. Oil paints contain expensive oils. Yeah, like, I think that there is a scene here that can be made. I think there's an adventure that can come from this ritual existing. Anyway, I think that's enough of that. Power of the Beast, athletics expert. Ooh, does it give us a bonus to grapple? This comes from the Kanjia World Guide. Is this the new one? It is. Okay. Interesting. Oh, the character guide is the new one. Okay. I have not been keeping up with that section of the world. It's just not where my games take place, so I put focus in other releases and other things. World guides from earlier this year. Well, then it's still new to me. Because, like, I've not been keeping up with that region. Just in general. Again, I tend to be one for making my own settings, so I just kind of use Galarian's lore as a jumping off point rather than something I follow directly super hard. But I like reading the lore, I just tend to not use too much of it. And as such, a lot of the lore releases kind of pass me by. Using weapons as anathema to this ritual immediately ends its benefits. There shall end this way, you must conduct an atonement ritual. Setting cast of 1, primary check, you need athletics, secondary check is cooking lore, crafting religion, duration. Critical success. As discussed, you can defeat 3 enemies that are only one size larger than you instead. Probably against take root. Once you defeat an enemy 2 or more sizes larger than you in single combat, you gain Titan Wrestler. Yeah, it is a ritual that just gets you a feat. Weird. 150 GP, 1v1 a beast, get a feat. 2 or more sizes larger than you? Let's see here. What is a creature 2 or more sizes than you that would be reasonable for a character to beat if they are a medium creature? There is the glass serpent thing from Starfinder. That was a huge creature at level 5. And you're never allowed to use weapons. So this means no shield augment either, because shield augment can have weapon runes put on it, and therefore it is a weapon. I don't know, there's probably something there for somebody's character, but like, if I care about grappling and I'm playing an unarmed character, I'm just taking Wrestler archetype and I'm getting Titan Wrestler for free that way. So, yeah, this is interesting, but I don't think it's like good enough to get on my short list. Like, I think it could have sauce, but it's just like, I don't see the build that would want it. People are free to disagree with me and tell me that there is a build that I'm not thinking of. Like, maybe a monk would want this because they don't have high synergy with combat grab. But, like, that's really stretching it. Maybe for a monk specifically. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it. Anyway, Purify Soul Path. 10 GP times your level. Religion, only one caster needed. Yeah, Kineticist wants to be better at wrestling but doesn't want to invest in Wrestler. I mean, sure. But if you're playing Kineticist and you want to be better at the wrestling things, it's not going to be a core main part of your character. And a skill feat is already pretty low investment. Yeah, it'd be for someone that didn't plan the character for fighting large enemies. And yeah, I do think Kineticist and Monk would be the two classes that's reasonable to have happen. But with Kineticist, I don't know. I feel like if you're playing in a free archetype game, Kineticist doesn't have that many good archetypes anyway. Because, like, in my head, I'm trying to imagine what character would invest athletics and then feel terrible about putting a feat into Titan Wrestler, and I'm coming up with blanks. It may be a thing of, if you want to use Battle Medicine, you have that be an early skill feat and you're maxing out Medicine, and Athletics is your secondary skill, you then become pretty pressed for skill feats, and you would want to take Titan Wrestler via another source. And you use Medic as your archetype, and you already boosted Athletics up to... Like, this is a long justification for what type character would want it. I don't think it's broad enough for me to really want to put in the video, but it is more characters than 0, which was the number I was first expecting. But anyway, Purify Soul Path. Primary check religion, delve inward, spending extensive time contemplating the purity of your own soul and the actions of your past. If you aren't truly penitent, the outcome is always critical failure. Critical success, you reconcile your misdeeds with your soul path, removing your soul forged companion. Fluffing armament no longer affects you. So this is just, if you're a soul forger, this is your atonement ritual. Okay. Must be a demon, must be a devil, so we're gonna skip over those. Yes. Arcana, occultism, religion. Sure. So primal casters, haha, take the L nature. Secondary check society legal lore. Sure, and you need one secondary caster. This does have the curse trait, which does occasionally matter. You enforce magical rule on a willing target. Keyword, willing. Forcing it to either perform or refrain from carrying out a certain act. It's usually conditional, such as always offer hospitality to strangers seeking a place to stay. Unconditional, to perform a certain act doesn't require the target to perform the act exclusively, but must prioritize that task above all leisurely pursuits. Most common, gets to refrain from carrying out is a specification to avoid violating a contract. So it's contract law. Okay. Interesting. And that 5th rank you can use on unwilling creatures, tempt will save, blah blah, gets lasts up to 1 week. Cleanse affliction, counteracted, in addition to which. Converted by contriving situations that prevent it from complying. Last every 1 year on an unwilling creature. Duration you choose, you have unlimited on unwilling creature. Sure. I mean, yeah, Primal's not getting a lot of rituals seems to be the theme, but we're kind of in the low-level rituals that are kind of all for, like, the religion or society building. And society building is just kind of that way. I think that there just aren't that many druidic rituals because, like, what would druid rituals do other than stuff like control the weather or have all the plants start talking to you and things like that I think would show up at the higher ranks? lot of the rituals only show up on the legacy page for whatever reason. Interesting. We might need to go flip through the legacy pages then. So yeah, I think that this is a contract law thing. I'm gonna mark it down as something that I should talk about in rank 3, I guess. Like, I don't know. It probably has use somewhere for somebody. Guardian Aegis. Cultism or Religion with secondary of Athletics, Diplomacy, or Society. Cost 10 GP times primary caster level. 1 secondary caster, of course. Guardian and Ward together so that they complete Consecrate port. Just complete designate one of the casters as the Guardian while the other is the Ward. As long as you're on the same plane of existence, both you are aware of blah blah blah. As long as you're within 30 feet of each other, whether the Ward takes damage, the damage is reduced by amount half the Guardian's level, and the Guardian loses that amount of hit points. The target still takes additional effects like poison, even if Guardian Aegis reduces the damage to 0. Ward takes damage. I will mention that this says the Guardian loses that much an equal number of hit points rather than the target takes, or the Guardian takes damage. I know we saw a Secrets of Magic ritual, like in this part here. Cause, yeah, Purify Soul Path is only Secrets of Magic. Which is weird. But I'll trust you that we will need to go flip through the legacy pages as well. This one is also Secrets of Magic. Maybe it was reprinted. And this one's only showing, like, first printing as the original source book. It does not do multiple type resistance, because it just says the Guardian loses an equal number of hit points. It just says the damage is reduced. So this would theoretically happen before resistances. But this has the trigger of when it takes damage. God damn it, we're back in the shield block thing. Ritual successful duration is a month. Ritual successful no effect. I mean, yeah, it could be at Secrets of Magic, the only pre-master book they picked. Weird. Anyway, I'll flip it back over to Legacy after I'm done flipping through all the remaster. I think that one's too hyper-specific and too weak for me to use it for world building. It's just kind of a minor effect that lasts for a long time. Feather, secondary cast 1, blah blah blah. 1, the int magic skills. The fireway creatures affected by this and take, say, 15 slashing 1 fire. So, I have no idea. The damage step is a mess. When you take damage as a trigger makes no sense, because you can argue that you only take damage when you lose HP, right before you lose HP. That makes sense in condition of when you take damage. But when you take damage could also mean before resistances, because you are now attacked, damage is rolled, you are taking damage at that point, and that'd be before resistances. So, who knows? The designers say to go with whatever makes flavor sense, and because it says that the target would still take any other special effects, I think they would still take the weakness. Thank you, Paizo. This lets you summon a magical carriage. And lets you just... yeah. It can take you to a bunch of destinations. 50 GP to get somewhere pretty quick in a fast carriage. So you don't need to do a rental service. Yeah, no, I could see this being like a profitable business. Hey, you need an express carriage to get down to that area? Sure, we can do that. Give us this many gold pieces. And then you just do that. Seems easy enough. So this is the type of thing I'm looking for. Yeah, seems good. Phantasmal custodians. Done something Cinderella. Yeah. I'm not looking at the funny reference. I know it's a reference to like Cinderella and all that, but I'm trying to evaluate them in terms of mechanics and move on. So that way we can get through more content. 15 GP only, but it will require 3 total people to do this. Again, intelligence primary check, secondary check, the unused one, and diplomacy. Sure. Area. That's a pretty decent area. In terms of tiles, 100 is what? 20 tiles? 20 times 5 is 100. Long last adaptation from Phantasmal minion. Forcing and discarrot basic attacks at a fixed location. Create 6 of them. Aren't minions. Continues to perform tasks until created again. Commanded again. And it is duration of a year. Pretty good. Oh my gosh. The critical failure is pretty bad. If destroyed, Phantasmal minions reform the next morning, and the cost increases. Yeah. This... Yep, this is a rich people spell. Yeah, this is definitely a rich people spell. It's going on the list. Me when I make a factory of I cast this ritual 17 times in a day. Or rather, I'd use Ritualist, because Ritualist has a thing to be efficient. And so if it requires 1 day to cast, you can cast in 4 hours. Oh, hey, guess what? I can do it 2 times per day on a normal 8-hour workday. So therefore, we are going to just have 32 workers because I spent under a week making workers for this one area. The critical failures are almost always awful. That one is funny, awful, instead of just like game ruining awful. So it's fine. Yeah. Generally, that's about what I want from Ritual. I'm gonna leave the Pathfinder baseline over there because we may need to reference it later if there's another mind control spell. So Purify Soul Path, I'm pretty sure we looked at before. Yeah, this is again Ritual 2. I don't know what it's doing in the Ritual 3 section. Oh, I think it's because its Haydn exists in that. I don't know. Weird. Okay, moving on. Reincarnate. I think this is our first resurrection spell. And also, our first one that requires nature. So everybody, this is your druid ritual now. Target dead creature. Secondary check Occultum Religion. And Occultum and Religion are interesting here because they are both the ones with Spirit as one of their things. Or one of their essences of magic. So you need a Nature primary caster in order to do stuff, and Occultism Religion to get the soul to the proper spot. It requires 2 secondary casters, blah blah blah. Target a dead creature of up to 8th level. Call forth target soul, attempt to blah blah blah, brand new body. Only a small portion of the creature's remains are required. Guided from the past week. If Pharasma has decided the target's time to come, or target soul is trapped or doesn't wish to return, this ritual automatically fails. But you discover this after you skip the religion check and can end the ritual without paying the cost. So I have an issue with this. Succeed the religion check. Oh yeah, you need to do both secondary checks. Sure. Yeah, you need to do both of these. That's fine. The ritual successful targets new body as of random ancestry from common or rare ancestry. You can choose possible ancestry species this fun. Through success, you reincarnate target to a new adult body. Full HP and same prepared spells as the original did when it died. As for success, but new bodies, 1 HP, no spells paired. Still take some time to adjust, so they have some downsides for a week. Sure. Failed to reincarnate them. Still becomes trapped in unintelligent animal or creature of the GM's choosing with all load. Unfortunate. And then it heightens to let you resurrect people of higher level. Sure. This is a resurrection spell. Or a resurrection ritual. I would bet that one is pretty decently usable. And I'd need to read up on the lore for elves, but if you are a human or an orc, this would be the thing where Phantasmal would decide your time has come. This is probably like where that line comes in. Because like if you were going to die of old age, you could die and then get reincarnated into an elvish body. I don't know. In any case, that's Reincarnate. It's a resurrection ritual. It changes your ancestry. It does what you'd want it to. Rune Trap. Primary check. Oh hey, nature is an option. Nice. Religion is also here. Determined by tradition and spell cast in the ritual. Sure. Oh yeah, it should go in player rituals. You're right. You are absolutely correct. Yeah, the classic old age counts rule. But like, it doesn't explicitly say old age counts, but like, you know. Yeah, I have a feeling Phantasmal would do something like that. Five GP times the rank of the spell to be stored. Okay. So, it's cheaper than a scroll. For everything except first rank spell, that is cheaper than a scroll. Range touch. Law. Has a target. Secondary check of crafting because you need to make the rune. Sure. Magical trap by binding hostile spell into a rune. Cast spell, store into a rune, blah blah blah. Yep, it is just... Yeah, this is how you make a spell in a dungeon. Must be a hostile spell. Yeah, but like... You're in trap. You wouldn't let it be like 5e glyph warding and let it use it to cast haste on the big bad guy once they press their big red haste button as a free action, right? We wouldn't want that now, would we? Seed of Mercy. A medicine ritual. Can make my demi-plane full of buff spells literally unplayable. Real. Honestly, I think that Paizo should let us make demi-planes full of buff spells. I think that's cowardice that we can't. Now we need to pay for skilled hirelings to forever live in our magical bags. Seed of Mercy. This is from Gunja World Guide. Demonstrate your willingness to aid even the most helpless of life by nursing a small injured bird to health and allowing it to fly away to freedom. Earning a return the protection of the natural world. Throughout withers, you don't personally water it with at least one bulk of pure spring water a day or such untended and dangerous circumstances. Anathema, the less ritual sprout wither, doing so immediately ends benefits. Huh. has casting time of 1 day, but then it makes a seedling. You need to keep on pouring the seedling. So a success, you nurse the bird health, turns you a seed that when planted in water goes into spread flower. Once you care for it a week, you gain the toughness feat. You lose toughness violating the rituals. Anathema, you lose number of hit points. The decrease in your max hit points. Sure. Critical success. Except the sprout also grows a single fruit after you've cared for it for a week. Removing the fruit causes sapling to wither. The fruit can be eaten as a moderate healing potion. Sure. So this is a way for you to cheat out toughness. But it requires all this cast time, and you need to be around that area frequently, because you need to personally water at least 1 bulk of pure spring water a day. This is a high maintenance. High maintenance. Really niche. Yeah. It doesn't matter for adventurers to get really into pod plants. Wait. It says nothing about not planting the plant into a flower pot. So you get the plant on top of your animal companion, and you put all your plants into 1 flower bed, and you give each of your adventurers a bucket of spring water they carry on with them, and they all pour water on. Alright, I think I'm back. Okay. That was weird. Internet dropped for a little bit. But anyway, as I was saying, you get a bunch of adventurers. You get them each with individual flower pots. You put it on the back of your wagon, on the back of your horse, whatever. And each adventurer carries around a jug of spring water. And you then pour the spring water out onto your personal flower at a rate of 1 bulk per day. And you occasionally re-put buckets of spring water. This is a lot of work for a little bit of HP. I want to say there's a belt that just gives you more HP that nobody uses. Oh no, this is an Apex item. Wasn't there a belt in the beginner box that would give you more HP? It is very funny. So it's going into the list of player rituals, because this is the type of shit players would pull. And I'm going to advocate for the most nonsensical player thing imaginable. I'm not going to bother doing the ranks for the... No, it's not a whole week for a single healing pot. You constantly maintain your flowers during your daily preparations every day for the sake of getting toughness for free. Totally not what the designers wanted me to do with that ritual. Because the thing with Seed of Mercy... Oh, it's Belt of Good Health. Belt of Good Health. Yeah, it increases your max and current HP by 4 as a 4th level item. Yeah. It's kind of like Wand of Tailwind, but even more upkeep. And for even lower payoff. And also, if we read it, left unattended in dangerous circumstances. Okay, so as long as you don't unattend it in combat. Me when I used the prescient planter feat I afforded from using this ritual to produce the spring water to water it. So what makes water spring water? Could I create water? Could my kineticist create spring? No. Guys, we are so far. We have lost the plot here. The plot is gone. It has gone fully missing. We need to find a ritual to find the plot again, guys. We're looking to track the worst ritual as well because this is a candidate. No, I think that ritual is actually fine. Because, like, I could see it potentially being useful. The worst ritual is one where I look at it and go, this has zero use for anybody. That one I could see being very funny. Wind Allegiance. Same source book as the previous one. PF2e is not loading the rituals anymore. PF2e, please. Wind Allegiance. There we go. Universe feels like the polyamorous marriage meta of 5e. yeah. Ritual to find the plot. That's possible effect of butterfly bender will cost you your dignity. Oh, well, you know, sometimes it's worth it. All past guards have toughness and water the fires each day. Now we're cooking! Wait, no, you have a point there. But then we're talking about 200 gold pieces of equipment per guard. And at that point, that's competing with, like, +1 armor rune. And when they retire, the +1 armor rune is easier for them to transfer to the next guy. I don't know. It... Maybe. You must nurse a bird back to health to join the Royal Guard. Hey, you know, I've heard of weirder rituals. On top monastery. You see, we're world building because the ritual inspired us. And that's what we're meant to do. Okay, so Wild Allegiance. Get food for animal. Diplomacy with nature or religion is the secondary. Okay. Animals, blah, 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 blah. How all the gods intend it. You approach, feed, and commune with the most notably hostile beasts, blah, blah, blah. Don't want to only attack or kill animals. Sure. You declare allegiance to the wild brown bun ritual's anathema, but you still must prove yourself. Once you non-violently resolve conflicts with 3 different animals of a higher level than yours, you gain animal empathy, the ranger class feat, which is use diplomacy to make impression on animal. Sure. You know, I can see this being useful for a player. The issue is, so how are you gonna do this without the ability to talk to animals? This is something where the GM really needs to play ball. And really work with you to make this like a thing you can do. Yeah. But you know, maybe one of the issues you can deal with is, why does this town's guard keep on bashing birds with rocks in order to heal them back to health? I'm just saying. A tone. Sure. We know what tone does at this point. It lets you get over you breaking anathema. This is pretty awkward, dude. They need to be higher level and minimum level 5 to do this. You need to help out 3 level 6+ animals. Yeah. Like, it's a thing. And it's 3 different conflicts with higher level creatures involved. 3 creatures are starving higher level creatures. So we're not talking your generic owlbear at this point in the game. We are talking about, like, dinosaurs. Because there aren't that many super high level beasts. And animals and stuff. So Alright, Blight. Nature with survival secondary. 1 day. Half-mile radius centered on you. For a year. You wither all the plants, and decrease the crop yield. Blight tends to counteract plant growth. And you just try to, yeah, sure. It's just, it kills the crops. You know what else can kill crops? Pour salt on them. That'll do it. I'm not gonna really mention Blight any further. It's fine. Like, you know, this, if your villain's big plan is we're gonna start damaging the food supply, but we're gonna do it subtly by standing in the middle of the field by ourselves with my buddy. Really? I don't know. I think this is a contender for worst ritual. Because, like, it's not even an interesting villain plot. Like, you know? Blight as clearing land for building houses. Yeah, we have a tool for that. It's called Fireball. Yeah, I could see it as like you clear land for a little bit, and you sit there for a day doing your ritual. By the way, a day for rituals is 8 hours, so it's an 8-hour workday. And you kill off a bunch of plant life. Sure. Oh no. There's some kind of plotline where they use this to expand into civilization. Expand civilization to the wilds when they shouldn't, and then the Druid Order fights back and like all that kind of stuff, but fine. I don't know. It doesn't excite me personally, so I'm not putting it on my list. Not every ritual is going to get on my list. They all have some kind of utility, but, you know. PF2e, please. Light worked. Okay, that worked. Yeah, I know. Commune with Corzel. Setting specific. Next. Concealment curtain. 6 days casting time. Already off to a weird start. Ornate mirror. Naturally occurring round fruit the size and number of the target's eyes, and the same amount of flawless silver needles worth at least 1 gold piece each. What in the world? So, for a humanoid, this is 102 gold pieces, right? Range planetary targets a living creature. For 5 days, drive and the fruit from the mirror, chanting the name of the target, envisioning its eyes in your mind. Midnight on the last day, drive the pins through the fruits, miming the action of methodically blinding the target to you and your companions. The target is immediately affected and can't visually detect any of the casts involved in the ritual. Rather, the ritual success us. Interesting. Needs to remove curse in order to actually see you again. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, this is gonna go into like the interesting list. Because I could see bad guys having a fun time with that. Yeah, really good against recurring villain. And also, I'm imagining, like, if you're fighting an evil cult, they could do something like that if you're a high-level party. And then their cult leader is just invisible to all of you, and none of your reveal invisibility spells work. So you can do it against villains, you could do it as players, potentially even. Give somebody protection against a specific bad guy. It has sauce. There's sauce there. Not sure how much sauce, but there is sauce. We are talking about Elemental Sentinel. Garden of Death. Hi, adventuring party. I'm a fan. Can I get an autograph? Gets within 5 feet of them. Like, yeah, it doesn't take much. You just kind of be around them and get a look into their eyes, and you can do that. And particularly if you're, like, walking down a crowded street. Like, you could just be accidentally bump into someone and go, oh, oops, sorry, and get out of the way. You know? It's not notable in a city. Like... And if you're a GM, you could have that type of thing happen where you're talking about the hustle and bustle of the city and somebody accidentally bumps into you, says, oop, I'm sorry, making eye contact, and then leaves. You know, that's a normal interaction. And you as the GM can say, oh, it's just set dressing, what are you talking about? Yeah, that's definitely a fun one. But then you as the cult leader needing to go out and get that. This is really cool, by the way. Concealment Curtain actually has so much sauce behind it. Trash and some other things are probably immune due to not able to find fruit that big. You know, this is Galarian we are talking about. There's probably fruit that big. You're gonna need to adventure to find it, but there's probably fruit that big. The real way the Trask is immune, though, is good luck getting good look at its eyes from 5 feet away and living. Because you find a way to do that and live, the Trask wasn't a threat to you in the first place. Yeah, 6-day casting for a 1-week duration is, yeah, that is kind of rough, but... This hide and 8th also makes them blinded. Like, this is interesting. Me and I specifically breed fruits to make a fruit the size of a Tarascot. And that is how you know we are Pathfinder players. When that is our solution. If we are D&D players, we just say, well, why aren't we just casting ritual that lets us fly and shoot the Trask? Garden of Death. Nature, secondary checks of crafting medicine. Blah, blah, blah. Calls all the poisonous, toxic, venomous plants. Now, blah, blah. And secondary checks of blah, blah. Every possible poisonous thing. Maximum level plants or animals called by the trolls equal to its spell rank. Oh. So rank then becomes the level of the creatures that you're bringing around. This would be something that you have like a cult leader do, and then have a bunch of smaller creatures then utilize the poison around it. It's a 40-foot radius burst that then cultivates these poisonous plants. Like, just plant your poisonous plants and cultivate your snakes normally. You know? You know? I'm just saying. Can't be that much more expensive, you know? I know there aren't great force movement rules, but you can whirling throw a snake around, resurrect it a few times, you know? I'm just saying. if you are at the point where you can cast this for something bigger than a giant scorpion, you're already at like at least level 5, 6. No, this is a 4th rank ritual. What am I talking about? So you're going to be at least a level 7 caster, or level 7 character, basically. Yeah, the mental image trying to hurt animals via boiling throw. Sounds like a bit that they do in like some knockoff Zelda game. Something like Zelda spinoff. In any case, I'm not very big on this one. It just kind of doesn't do enough. Really cast to try and get a giant one. Tens of thousands of gold to make this garden miles wide. Like, yeah. If this was like a half-mile radius, then we'd be talking. But a 40-foot radius burst, just to make a farm. Like, it only grows the things that would naturally grow in that kind of biome anyway, so just make a farm. Come on. Real shame. Mystic Carriage, we already kind of talked about this. Plant growth. Half-mile radius. Look at that. Mile diameter? Sure. Nature, farming, lore, survival? Sure. Plants in the area to be healthier and more fruitful. Other benefits on plants can increase crop yields. Sure. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. This is a ritual. I'm gonna go ahead and actually send this to a GM in one of my games as a thing that I want my character to be able to do, because that friend is working on their own game system, which I may review on the channel once it's in a state where it's like ready to be revealed publicly, but I'm gonna send that over as, can I do this eventually? I want to do this kinda thing eventually. There we go. Some poison plant seeds and plant growth probably be better. Yes! Literally, yes! If you have that many resources to devote into that, do this one and make an actual farm. Come on, guys. A character with rituals casting Garden of Death twice a day for a year makes garden about 2 miles wide in radius. Okay. Let's double check the math there. So, what you have is 40 by 40. Let me go pull up actual calculator. We have is 40. Radius of a circle is radius squared times pi. And, scientific. 40 squared pi times 40. So this is the square footage per casting of playing. Actually, you know what? Let's simplify it down. Let's get rid of pi in all of our calculations, just to keep the unit simpler. So you are able to create that many square footage per casting. You are getting 2 castings per day out of the 365 days in a year. We're looking at this many times pi square footage. So now let's compare this to half-mile radius. Oh, 20-foot radius for casting in the same area. Okay, fair enough. So half mile is 5280 divided by 2. So we're gonna get to 2,640. Yeah, that's about a year. Yeah. Rough. Rough, rough, rough. Just use plant growth and plant seeds by hand. Truly. Anyway. Reincarnate we talked about. Rest Eternal. Rare oils, target's level. Power spirits creature from ever returning. Will save to resist the ritual. Critical success fulfills you to believe the ritual has succeeded. Interesting. So Rest Eternal is like a high-level Rest Eternal ritual. Could, in theory, stop a Lich from coming back. Is a Soul Cage an artifact? It's a 12th level, I'm aware. Oh no. It doesn't have the trait, and this says that they do come back. This says they don't. Magic the Gathering rules would state that can't beats can, but this game doesn't function off Magic's rules. Oh no. I cast Dead, but for real this time. Truly. This feels kinda easy to get rid of a Lich Soul Cage. So, I don't know. Shadow Dome. Film Lich Shift absolutely in use by both sides. Film does stop the victims from being revived. Kings get cast on them to stop people from trying to enslave them later. You know, I could see it. I'll mark it. But I'm not super happy about it. You're right, you're right. You are correct. It does kind of play to bring back souls to interrogate them later. True! You know what? You're right about that one. Okay, you convinced me. You convinced me. You got me. Yep, totally. Totally agree with you. And that is why I'm live streaming, not just reviewing this by myself. And for Bark Beast Princess, that's kind of my issue with it. It's that it's only growing in poison stuff that is of a certain rank. Or of a certain level, and that level is the rank you're casting it, so it's always going to be, like, really, really weak. And so if you actually want to cultivate meaningful poisons, you should be using plant growth and farming. So, it's more of a thing of, if you want to have your super evil lair, you just keep on casting that in the middle of it, and eventually you get enough space. And you're just kind of doing it to make the area around your place really unpleasant to be, to keep people away, which, I mean, that is security against, like, lower level interlopers, but it's not going to dissuade any serious threats. Shadow Double, 1 day cast time, blah 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 blah. Person of Consecrate should be duplicated. 3 secondary casters. Arcana or Cultism Master, check out secret trait, secondary checks. Vomit. Required to recall knowledge about the creature being duplicated, crafting deception. Fair. Fair. That's... You know what? Okay, sure. I now get why you had this massive list. Targets a living creature. Drawing shadowy material from the netherworld and sculpting it to semi-solid form. Impersonation. Doesn't have any target's traditional and special abilities. Illusions allowed to appear to use those abilities, they just never seem to have an effect. Against the double dragon's breath, all creatures in the area seem to critically exceed their saving throws and take no damage. Creatures can attempt to disbelieve the illusion by attempting perception check, and deception DC as secondary spellcaster. Roll the deception. Sure. So what I'm imagining for this shadow double is, because, you know, Frightful Presence, is that a special ability? Because if Frightful Presence appears to work, you'd still be afraid, you know? I don't know how that would work. Because it is a special ability, but it appearing to work means that it did work, because it's frightened. Right? Anyway. I'm not gonna think about that too much harder. Critical success has minion, blah 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 blah. It doesn't mean hostile cast epic and they just can coincidentally make their saves against it. You know what? Fair enough. I could see that. Yeah. Still weird though. Still weird. I don't see how they'd use this other than like, ooh, I'm not actually gonna be out there. It's gonna be my double, and it's sure. Now you don't have to give the speech, and instead of you have your double do it. But like, if you're gonna spend a day and all this gold pieces, just hire a lookalike with disguise self or whatever other equivalent you want to use, and feed them what to say through a message spell. That just seems easier than this, and that uses lower level options. So you can fabricate an alibi for a crime. Yeah, but you can do that by having somebody look like you and be somewhere else. Like, I'm not seeing the use case for this. Because I'm looking at how many people you're already inconveniencing to do this, how many checks you need to succeed, versus way easier ways to do all the individual jobs you'd want from this. Gotta double for your chores. But if we're talking about doing chores, we have animate objects, we have things that will create, just like a bunch of people in an area that then do all your stuff for you. Because there's one up here in the third ranks. Phantasmal custodians, which are a bunch of invisible servants that do chores for a year, and is the same duration, and is not quite as long duration, but it's cheaper and also requires fewer people to implement. Then get a convincing look like yourself. Is it though? Because we're talking about magic. Because if we're talking about magic, this is now in play. And so with illusory disguise, so anybody that can cast an arcane or occult spell can do this. I would bet there is a bard that would be willing to do this for you. I'd be willing to bet you could find a bard that is the same ancestry as you, if you are a wealthy person. The only thing I could think of is if you know that spot, you're gonna get assassinated by being there, so then you wouldn't want illusory disguise, but in that case, there are like you're spending a day doing this ritual to then, like, have yourself get publicly executed, but, like, not have it die from it. I don't see the line. This is a first rank spell. There's probably some random gnome farmer who will do this for you. Exactly! Yeah, and at Hide and Third, they become a copy of you! And they get your voice as well, so... Yeah, like, there are so many options. And I'd even bet the Thieves Guild that you mentioned up there would have a bard in it. Or it would have a wizard of some kind. Or it'd have a psychic, or it'd have a sorcerer who could do this. Because Illusory Disguise targets a willing creature. So you could have a rogue with all the good skills of deception, performance, all that stuff. Have the wizard cast Illusory Disguise on them. So as long as you have a spellcaster in your cabinet as this theoretical leader who's being assassinated. Sexual's making a part. Okay, now we're cooking. Back in my day, you had to make a wax statue and animate it like a suit of armor. I'm not going to go further down that path, I refuse. It's still not getting in the list. No. No. I'm not doing it. Alright, now we are in the rank 5s. And we're about a third of the way done. Perfect. But a lot of them are going to be repeats at this point, because, like, Tone will be reprinted a lot. Astral Projection. Guys, are you projecting, but astrally? One gem total value equal to target's level times 5 GP per target, 2 secondary casters total. Opened up to 5 willing creatures. Explore the astral plane. That's a lot of text. Silver cord, blah 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 blah. Ice Course 5 witnessed Heartbond of Swingerper and Wrestler dedication. I thought it was a wonderful ceremony. The weather was beautiful, and there was all-you-could-eat pasta. I don't know what you mean. The critical failure is very interesting here, but, yeah. Can you cast message targeting the wrestler dedication? Yes, but I'm not usually within 30 feet these days. It's kinda, we're on the rocks. Kept the silver cords in the remaster. Yeah, no, it's interesting. I guess the idea of a tether back to reality is common enough. Whatever. I mean, sure. I'm not gonna put in the list. One we've already seen. Bountiful Oasis. Another nature one. 3 drops fresh water from natural occurring lake within 1,000 miles of the ritual site. So, easy enough. 10-foot burst, 1 year. Make a spring. Wait, there's spring water. Now, where did I put this? No, that's Reincarnate. It's spring water, specifically. Yeah, Seed of Mercy, where are you? Come on, Seed of Mercy. You're just not showing up anymore. Well, gosh darn it. Anyway. Oh yeah, we're cooked with spring water now. Yeah. It just makes a mini lake. Sure. Where's the lake water ritual? I don't know. But hey, it lets you make an oasis. Sure. So anyway, I think that the water creation rituals aren't that great. This is my argument against it. Anyway, base kinesis and create water are both things that exist, so I don't think you need this. But you can call spirit. There are also spells that set up a hot spring temporarily. That's the thing. So Call Spirit has you place a bunch of candles in a circle. What is conversion of gallons to bulk? I do not. Okay. This is the rabbit hole we're going down now. Five to 10 pounds is one bulk. So, I'd say that a gallon of water is about 5 to 10 pounds. Are people willing to agree with me on that one? £8.34. That's right in the range of 5 to 10. And if we assume that we have a jug that is a pound or less, we're talking about one bulk per gallon. So that means create water is creating about 15 bulk of water. Yeah, okay. So, Call Spirit. 50 GP of stuff. Primary check, either occultism or religion. Whichever isn't used for primary check is used for secondary. Tear the veil of the afterlife. Call the spirit from its final resting place. Call the spirit by name. Blah, 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 blah. We'll save to avoid it. Critical success. Trickster spirit. Impersonate spirit you meant to call. In duration, you ask the spirit a question. Ask her answer out, please, or even refuse to answer. Or results in the critical failures, use failure effect. Sure. Then the GM, it rules spring water and therefore free toughness. Oh my god. So Call Spirit. Yeah, this would be helpful. I can say it's being used in court cases a lot. Like, yeah, that guy did it. Ask the victim, you know? What are they gonna do? Yeah. To beat the ritual, you must do the ritual. I call upon my primary witness, the victim! And Phoenix Wright still finds a way to have that case drag out for 3 days, you know what I mean? I disagree. I think Fleet is goated with the sauce, and Toughness is a loaf of bread. Still good, but like, you know, not good with the sauce. Red ambiance. 2 days, can't 80 GP, secondary caster, secondary checks deception. Okay, sure, duration a year. Area is a square mile. Sure. Emma's bread, Flea's really good bread with cheese. You know, I'll agree with this. Fleet means more actions, which is more winning. Also agreed. In some places, it always feels like someone's observing you, and Bland doesn't want you there. Hostile. Skitter about the undergrowth. Tendrils of mist try to stray. Even the scent is unwelcoming. Loud vine boom fart noise, haha, funny. Sometimes the eerie atmosphere is a natural occurrence, other times it's the result of dread ambiance. Prepare the air, salt and herbs, travel the edge of the area throughout the casting. Complete ritual, anyone who enters the area receives a status penalty to saving throws against fear effects, the dread. On critical success, sense of dread is particularly powerful. Each creature takes a penalty saving throws against fear effects. Yeah, sure. I could see, like, somebody using this if they're, like, an evil caster or some kind. I could see a lich putting this around their castle, because I'm pretty sure liches have a fear aura. Frightful presence, yeah, they do. So then this would effectively increase the DC of their frightful presence and all their fear spells, which is pretty good, you know? Hags cast on their swamps, yeah, absolutely. Just 80 GP and you repeat it once a year. Yeah. This feels reasonable. This is something that would, like, get used. I immediately see the use case, and, you know, I'm gonna use it in a campaign. There we go. Not much to talk about with it, it's just... yeah. Great spooky ambiance, and then also give people penalties on stuff. Blue, I don't know what you're on right now, but keep on going, man. I think you're almost there. There's no rules for making the area of the ritual smaller, but that sounds like it'd be pretty reasonable. Yeah, I mean, it says you walk around the area you're trying to put the cur, or put the effect. So you just walk around a smaller area. It would make the caster weaker for demoralize from the players, but I don't know. It is interesting. And I think that you could probably have an argument that if you live in that area for long enough, you become immune to it, and etc, etc, etc. Like, I do think that you are correct by Raw, but I mean, it's my game, I'm gonna ignore whatever rule I feel like. 2 GP times spell rank times target level. Sorcery. So capital R rituals for the rules. Why don't you just... I think this came up before the creature creation rituals. I think. Gonna make a haunt house for a demon clown guy. You know, go for it. Clown people deserve housing too, you know? We all do. And you know, sometimes they also need the enrichment from the floorboards making a little creak sound whenever they walk around, you know? Enrichment. Case. Blah, blah. You mean named to an element plane that you know personally, same restriction? I mean... if you're trying to commune with an elemental plane, I could see this being a thing that you use. I'm gonna put it in the list. But again, not fully happy about it. Establish Nexus. Cost. Ugh. 2 multipliers. Great. So 500 times node level. So it lets you tap ley lines easier. Exponential ritual cost, truly. It lets you create ley line benefits. And then it's all interacts with the ley line rules, which are a whole thing. I'm just gonna click that button. We're not gonna talk about it, okay? We're just gonna move on. That would be cool for a specific type of game, but oh man, if you're not dealing with ley lines, you're not dealing with that shit. Fortifying brew. Which is got changed to Hero's Feast. I'm gonna put in the remaster mode again. Fortifying brew. There are leyline rules, so you Magic players can go ahead and look those up. There's even an archetype that surrounds it, if I remember right. I don't remember the details off the top of my head. I do remember you tap leyline to get certain benefits, and they had example leylines in the books. I'm not going to go over it too much, because it's the type of thing of either your GM uses it for a set piece or they never use it. I lean on the side of occasionally for a set piece encounter I'll use it, but my players already kind of have their brains full with the normal Pathfinder stuff, so I don't want to throw in more nonsense on top of it, on the caster players specifically. Large quantity of restorative drink, blah 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 blah. Feed long and natural process made to brew, such as fermenting for wine. And it can cleanse a whole lot of downsides. And then it gives them some temp HP for a bit. Failure, meh. The drinks aren't that good. Critical failure. All of you become really, really, food sick. Sure. You know what? This is a thing that they would use. Ha ha ha. Yeah, as we talked about before, mind swap. Oh no. Cast time of a day, blah 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 blah. Second cast 1, 2 creatures of the same ancestry, up to twice the level of mind swap. They change minds, blah blah blah. Body dies, mind spirit controlling dies instantly, and spell ends, mind soul snap back to the original body, so this time the original body is dead, the mind soul time to return that body die as well. Sure. Yeah, it is every movie from the 90s. But also, really? Are you gonna cough up like 900 gold or whatever to do this on your high level game? I don't know. It's a day, range 10 feet. Yeah, sure. And I do think I'm really underselling what fortifying brew could do, but fortifying brew seems very, very strong. Portrait of Spite. Unart supplies, blah 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 blah. Second cast is free. Using the blood, you can pose a portrait of the target in perfect health. Once the portrait is complete, persuade grievances against the target and enact on the portrait punishments you wish to see the face. Second cast performs craft check must be able to paint or draw the target from memory. Target suffers the effects in the course of 1d6 hours, blah blah blah, pushing each mustache, penalty, drain, so on. Critical success target is 4 of the condition. Successful, let's say the condition value is 2. Critical success. On normal success, you get 2, 1, unaffected. Failure, portrait doesn't change, ritual has no effect on the target. Critical failure, the portrait turns taking memory of your farm. Or secondary cast of blood, your target extracts itself from the canvas, stripping down meat. Sure. Yeah, Hind's Subversion Mind Swap is the villain stuff, but like, I think if you're that high level of caster and you have uncommon options, just use Dominate. Opposite picture Dorian Gray. Yeah, basically. I don't have much to say about it. I'm fine. Resurrect. Hey guys, guess what this one's gonna do? Target a dead creature. You can have it resurrect higher people at higher levels for higher cost. Resurrect them. Yeah, this is resurrection. It's... What do you want me to say about resurrections? It resurrects people. What do you... Look, guys, resurrection can affect your world building. Who could guess that resurrection may affect your world building if people can come back from the dead? You don't believe me? Yeah, you know what? I don't need to justify myself to you. That is forced labor, so I'm not gonna do it. Until it doesn't, goddamn it, Pharasma. True, real, down with Pharasma, am I right? For too long, undead have been oppressed, just like the gamers. But, in any case, the world's a stage. Cost costumes and stage large enough to fill all the casts. Secondary cast 2 to 12. Built into the crafting performance. Research sophisticated example of symbolic magic, binding fate and fortune to a prepared script. Conduct ritual, you and secondary cast must put on a long-form, multi-person, plot-based performance that's usually a play or opera, though more unusual performances have been known. You take the role of director while secondary performers, blah 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 blah. Performance presents current events and offers particular vision how they resolve, often metaphorical or allegorical format. Performance must be presented to an audience of at least 100 people, majority of whom must both be connected at least peripherally to the events in question. And to understand what the metaphor or allegory actually refers to, for the magic to spark, the performance must declare its purpose loudly and clearly to the parties most concerned. If the major antagonist featured in the performance is in the audience, and the ritual success, you get a critical success instead. That is true. That is how Ergothoa came to be, but, As cards pushing events in the right direction, you and each secondary category roll up to 3 skill checks at any point during the duration of the ritual after determining results. This is cool. Yeah, no, I could see a party kind of doing some nonsense with this one. This is going in the player section, because players could do this. Ooh, for Asmodian team's balance between life and death, she's so important. No, she's stingy. We don't want balance. Balance is going to make me quit Pathfinder, because the game isn't fun enough. Actual comment I've gotten. Asmodian wager. Our parchment rank for each better worth at least 50 gold pieces. Second deck is 1/9. Second deck decided law duration till wager's completion. So we just act out a play of us beating up the villain, literally rewrites reality, make it easier to do so. And it makes it even easier to do so if the villain is in that audience. Oh, so goofy. You facilitate magically binding agreement between yourself and one or more additional casters when creatures. Oh my god. Wherein each participant, hereafter referred to as the betters, they made a contract betting spell, and they wrote it like a legal document. This is peak Pathfinder. We have achieved it. We have achieved peak. Game chance somebody recurring distant future. I love gambling. Real. Gambling is actually both good and based. Let's play more dice games. Okay, so apparently the FTC doesn't like me saying that I like gambling. That was not scripted, it was just... my internet is a little shaky. Again, I'm hotspot up to my laptop, which is hanging out in the bathroom, which is back that way. So, yeah. So if a promise, there are aegis to fulfill the promise, once blah 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 blah. About his life, as soon as the outcome is decided, betters die instantly with no saving throw, death effect, blah blah blah. Next time the winner would die, they instead remain alive and conscious at 0 HP, so dying condition 1 lower than what would kill them. Until his protection has been exhausted, the loser bet can't return to life through any means, even through powerful magic such as Wish. Huh. Interesting. So it's in the bathroom because that is the only spot that is both near enough to my computer and near enough to the router to be in between the two things that has an outlet and it's unlikely to get stepped on. That is why. Devil went down George with the ritual. Yeah. This is a very good ritual, like if you want to make a big old wager, sign the deal, make a contract. This is really cool. So I'm gonna definitely talk about that one. Where were we? We're at Asmodian wager. Tone, awaken animal. There's a new one. Herbs. 5th creature creation rituals, 3 secondary casters, blah blah blah. Animal. Grand intelligent turning into a beast. Helpful, friendly, accidentally awaken target with pure bestial hatred towards you. Hostile to you, attempting to destroy you. Sure. I think that the awakening is interesting. Awaken object, I assume this is going to be the same thing, but with objects. Phantasmal object, blah. Different to you and all living creatures. Magical object and construct can't be awakened. Process to do so essentially creates intelligent magic. I'm sure. Animate object ritual cast on by doubling cost of animate object. An object that's already been awakened can then be animated by doubling the cost of animate. Weird. Yeah, I don't particularly care for awakened object. It's kind of meh. Binding circle. Cast one day, blah 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 blah. Hey, look! Quadratic growth again per spell price. Primary check requires Arcana or Occultism. Sure. Targets an interplanar, next planar creature. Barring for the general performing task with you. So you make a deal. Cost of a thing, blah blah blah. Okay. Yeah, sure. This is a spell that summons a big ol' fiend, and then you need to then spend more gold to get it to do a favor for you. But if you can cast this ritual, get somebody over there, couldn't you just, like, do it yourself? If you have that much gold, you could just, like, do it in a normal way. Bribe the thing you reanimate. Yeah, but, like... Okay, so, with this spell, I think it's because you need something that is more common on another plane of existence. So, like, if I were to use this in order to summon, like, a fire elemental, because I really, really needed to... No, I can't think of a time I'd rather do this than hire the Thieves Guild. Just Gios, the Thieves Guild leader. Just saying. Much like most rituals, doable for non-counters too. Maybe the King of Minor Kingdom summons an angel for its magical aura or something. Magical aid or something. It's covered by the little heart. I couldn't really read it. Maybe. I could see it. Still, if we're talking about a king of a small kingdom, we were talking about somebody who is capable of getting off a 6th rank ritual that requires at least 4 people that are pretty damn good at various magical skills. Or rather, 3 people are pretty damn good at skills. Oh no, I can't think of a time I'd use this. Commune. $150 GP, master, secondary check, not used in the primary. Requires 1 secondary. And this is just gonna say different things that you know based on which skill you used. 7 questions that can be answered with yes, no, and the answer with 1 word yes, no, likely, unknown, etc., etc. So its answers reflect its own agenda and could be deceptive. Critical success, you contact a more powerful entity aligned strong with your interest, possibly even your deity. The entity will attempt to deceive you, though it will Still might not know the answers. While it's important to provide clarity, the entity will answer your questions with up to 5 words, such as, if you leave immediately, or that was true once. Success, you can only ask questions and receive. You can ask questions, receive answers, blah blah. Supposed to know when your cosmos stupefied for a week. Can't move by any means. Funny. You know, because a commune being a great thing for, like, general usage. Sure. Because, like, this is a ton of information you get very easily. I can see religion and occultism being very commonly used. Nature, I don't think that'll be as useful at this level. It's the classic anti-mystery spell. You're damn right it is. Must be a demon, must be a devil. Little sentinel. Give this the alarm one. Fortifying brew again. Heartbond again. Ideal mimicry. So it requires 50 GP times target level and some part of them. They need to do occultism, one other secondary caster, but it doesn't have a secondary check listed. Secret magic, please. You craft a doll, inserting fingernails in the body, blah 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 blah. Whatever you put them into the doll. Stuffed doll and formed to mimic the shape of the target, creating clothing accessories for the doll. Are similar to calming ward items, blah blah. Just go and good look at them from 5 feet away. You can cast the doll and ritual from any distance away. Once complete, you can interact with the doll violently once per round to cause pain to targets along 200 feet. Mental damage reflected on the target depends on how many of the 3 body part components you include in the doll. You can do so on target so far from stuffing and dust. Critical success, doll becomes connected. Each interact does 3d6 for each of 3 body components. You can do it up to 20 times. Interaction has to take pain and cause 96 damage to the casters. There's alert to the tent and the nest, though the fearing connection is being subverted. Or secondary casting on required checks isn't that rare. Yeah, but it doesn't even say what you'd roll as a secondary check. Oh no. I mean, like, if you want to do a voodoo doll type thing, that's how you do it. It's just that, I don't know, it feels like a lot of work. Because, like, I'd rather do the, like, creature summoning ones a bunch of times and just kind of teleport us all into the middle of their chambers. Could be easier. This one we already talked about earlier in the stream. We were talking about this earlier in the stream, talked about this earlier in the stream. Primal Call. Fairy Circle ingredients. Boring. I didn't like Planar Servitor before, so not gonna like that one now. Moving on. Sky signs. Nature, crafting diplomacy. Lays in a message across the sky itself. Cast a mission for first. Some cultures, such as men dance the plane of air and stargazing recipes, develop complex symbology to communicate clearly using sky signs. Much period of sky above you can be seen to the horizon. Made this way must be very consumable to the symbols look the same to anyone who sees them. If you wish to conceal a message, you need to choose symbols that will make sense to your chosen audience, but not to any other onlookers. For success, you display the signs the message is clear. Success, you display a somewhat muddled version of your message. The signs aren't entirely clear and require interpretation from those of you. Critical failure, the spirits verifying your message. Audacious and offensive, and as punishment, they emblazon the opposite of your intended message across the sky, and the message is clear to anyone who sees it. Funny. I hide at 10th, the scope of your message is really staggering and can be seen across the entire planet. Interesting. The thing that pops into my mind is the classic. But you can't quite send up true warnings of eviction notices at this time via that, because you can't get something that complicated. But, you know. This is where my mind jumps to whenever I hear about a skywriting spell. And it's specifically the flavor text Supreme Verdict. Theonos had no second thoughts about the Abolishment Edict. He left Skyrune's warning of the eviction, even though it was cloudy. Anyway, Ravnica would not be a good place to be. In any case, Sky Signs is probably fine, honestly. Like, in terms of communication spells, this is 300 gold pieces total. Okay? You can buy a scroll. If you want to send a private message, buy a 5th rank scroll of sending. Just saying. And if you want to tell everybody something, this is then a way to do that. So the real use case of this ritual is, I want everybody in the area to know this thing. And you give them a 5-word phrase that's then written in the sky. Yeah, it has a niche as sending truly public messages around. I'm gonna put it in at the rank 10, it's useful. Because, like, I think that seeing to the horizon is, like, one thing, but, like, the idea of covering the world with propaganda is so cool. I think that's how you'd use it, and then you'd probably have, like, a magical FTC regulating who has this ritual and can use it. Yeah, Runelord bragging and taunting the planet. Like, yeah, that's how it'd be used. So, Unseeing Blade Master. Perception Master requires religion warfare Lord secondary caster. They fight through lines both through other king's ends and blah blah blah. Making a strike against an enemy you can see as anathema, his ritual immediately ends its benefits. Well, now. Success! You call a blessing to your sword to guide you on the path. Once you use that sword against 20 enemies, each significant enough to grant XP, you gain the Blind Fight feat. Doesn't Blind Fight also have, like, other downsides to it? Yeah. DC 5 flat check target hidden creature. If you had a different precise sense of some kind. Yeah, possible video could be having a small site for all these rituals of, yeah, you're right. Because this is interesting enough to be part of the video. I know how to find this, just the Lost Omens Kanjo World Guide. Word Domain. Cast 1 day, cost rare stuff, secondary casters of 3, blah 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 blah. Lure any as a secondary check. Weird. Okay. Area, big. Duration, weak. Ritual, guard, private settings, powerful rules, blah, blah, blah. Spend time burning this. All gates, windows are locked. With the effects of law condition, you can serve 6 doors. Effects of illusory object appears plain walls. Yep. This is something you'd absolutely have in your king's castle. Yep. Absolutely. And you just have a few people maintain this, and you just kind of close off that part of the castle. Absolutely. You use this. Detonate magic? What's that? Oh, it's 9th rank spell. It's just like a mass dispel magic. Okay. You don't even care about closing off there. You use scry. Yeah, the scrying and teleportation immunity for sure. Because like you can imagine doing this in your like main strategy room where you shut off the hallway before it and that area inside from all scrying spells. Yeah, detonate magic is a way better name. Yeah, this is going in the list. It's absolutely in the list. It's already in the list. That's why it's in the list. Yeah, absolutely. As it should be. I wasn't sure if I put it in there. Collective memories. Cast number 1 day, burn incense, secondary casters, tap into other mortals' memories, blah 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 blah. So 300 GP, and you get to know the legends about a thing based on what people kind of commonly know about them. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this topic. I think you could just, let's see here. And then maybe throw in one of this. I'm just saying, like, there's other ways to do that exact thing, but better and easier and cheaper. Is this even half the ritual? I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of repeated ones in here, because all the heightened versions of the rituals are then printed at the, like, level that the heightened version would be. But we've already talked about a lot of this, so I'm just going over the new stuff. So, like, we just talked about collective memories. We talked about Consecrate before. We talked about these things before. We talked about Dread Ambiance before. We talked about Power Leyline before. We talked about Fortifying Brew before. We have not talked about Gathering Call. We have not talked about this. That's a new one. 7 days, 5,000 GP, 2 secondary casters, targets up to 7 willing creatures, 14th level or lower. Duration of a year. Find something your allies specific safe location, referred to as a sanctuary, where you perform the ritual. Turn later by simply speaking a word. From connection, they can dismiss the ritual. And when you do, all of them can return to the sanctuary from any distance, as long as they're on the same plane as the sanctuary. Each participant arrives in position, which they're standing during the casting of the ritual. When the word is spoken, all participants know it and can choose whether or not to return to the sanctuary at that time. It then ends. Interesting. You know, this is a neat little ritual. It's a way for you to go, there's no place like home, and you just go back home. New word of recall. Yeah. Sure. Planar displacement is new. Teleportation circle. What do you do? Or did we go over you? We've not talked about teleportation circle yet. Planar displacement. Finds planar key for the destination used as a locus, cost variant sense, blah blah, 500 GP. Requires a master in one of the magic skills. Secondary checks lore related to the destination plane and survival. For ritual circle, once the ritual is complete, you shift all creation in the area to a different plane of existence. Secondary cast can be located the exact side of the destination instead of with you at the point of origin. Secondary cast at the destination keeps the checking rules. Blah blah blah. Critical success as you get to the right spot. It remains active for a minute. Yeah, seems fine. Being able to warp between planes like that seems pretty nice. Casting time of a day would be pretty rough, but this is a way for you to, in theory, move a lot of things between planes because it's active for a minute. You then use teleport and you get to your new destination because this is an uncommon teleportation thing. So I'm assuming teleport will be allowed in this game. I could see it. I'll mark it. It's interesting. Then we're going to be looking at teleportation circle. Let's you create a 10-foot diameter circle on the ground. Again, another 500 G pieces. For a destination determined time of the ritual, designate destination part of the ritual. Destination cannot be changed. 1,000 miles beyond the same plane. Identify the location precisely both the way. Blah, blah, blah. By the destination's appearance, destination must always be a 10-foot diameter circle. Circle normally only works in one direction, though you can double the cost to make it work in both directions. Sure. I'm gonna go ahead and mark this one. And this duration is only a day, but then it heightens to get more and more duration. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm marking the 9 to 10 area because that's when it'll really be useful. Because that's how Absalom does its true outbound portals. I'm actually going to go quickly run off to the bathroom. And in the meantime, I'll run an ad. And I'll be back soon. I've returned. And now that I'm back and have peed, go ahead and go into rituals again. We're going to talk about teleportation circle. We already talked about gathering call. We're now going to talk about bathe in blood, control weather, these are the 8th rank ones. Bathe in Blood, cast an per day, 1000 GP times target's level, 2 secondary casters. Old ritual legal in nearly every corner Galarian, but never quite exterminated. You bathe in the freshly spilled blood of your people, whose lives and years you steal in the process. Bath of chemically treated blood, tended by silent servants. The blood must come from the same ancestor as your own, must have been spilled in the last 6 hours. Spells such as gems or potions can extend this time. Using such preserved blood applies blah 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 blah. You require 30 gallons of blood to immerse yourself. Typically, a creature holds about 1.5 gallons of blood in its body. This ritual doesn't strictly require the blood donor to be killed and drained dry, but the cycle challenges gathering enough blood without murder are beyond all but the most well-resourced casters. Fair! Each time you enact this ritual, regardless of success or failure, take a penalty regardless of secret castings. Critical success, you can become younger. Success, you become younger. Critical failure, you die, and you frequently come back as an undead. Interesting. Okay. I can see this as a villain spell. Or villain ritual. It's kind of like baby lichdom. Sure. Control weather. For 40 12 hours and a 2-mile radius around you, you can alter the weather. Choosing up to 2 effects based on the season. Spring, drizzle, heat, hurricane, sleet, thunderstorm, tornado. Blah 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 blah. You can't specifically control the manifestation, such as the exact path tornado or the target's lightning strikes. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that is a really weird duration. Why couldn't they just make it 1 day? Because 40 12 hours on average is 26 hours. So just make it 24 hours. No? Make it so we don't need to roll. On critical success, let it go up to a week just because, you know, make it simpler. High 9, you can create unreasonable and contradictory weather effects such as extreme cold hurricane. Yeah, I mean, like, this is going to be a thing that you'd use for high-level stuff. Sure, it gets in the list. 9th rank rituals. Eighth rank rituals and stuff. Now we're in 9th rank. We're talking about controlling weather, we talked about the pack, we talked about the ambiance. There's a new one. There's one new one. Did we talk about clone? I don't think so. We did not. I missed it. Okay, so we're going to talk about clone first. I'm going to just look through, make sure that I know what all these ones are. We've just seen so many effects that were clone-like, I forgot about clone itself. So clone is cast time of 7 days. Cost of target level times 100. 3 secondary casters crafting legendary. Requires 3 secondary checks of various things. You can read it on the screen. Range 10 feet, target's willing creature. Collect stuff and then make them present throughout the ritual and can be one of the casters. Use the samples to grow a duplicate of the form. Duplicate grows in the laboratory cover for 2 to 4 months. No direct involvement is required during the period of growth. You must prevent any interference or interruption, or the ritual fails. When the duplicate is complete, the original soul enters it as soon as their original body dies, or immediately if the creature died in the months, and as long as the soul is free and willing. If Pharasma, blah 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 blah. Duplicate remains empty until the impediment is removed, while unoccupied, the inert duplicate must be preserved in suitable alchemical to prevent from rotting. Sure. And then the clone, critical success. Critical fail, the clone appears to be successful, but something horribly wrong. Once it grows to its full size, it can't hold target soul, instead houses a malevolent, intelligent, or invasive creature, such as a powerful demon. Yeah. I mean, this is clone. This is what you'd want from clone. It does its thing. It helps you be immortal, but not really, because Pharasma still can just say, no, nuh-uh, nuh-uh, you forgot to ask me, no. So it's absolutely just what clone does. Yeah, that's what I'd expect from it. Preemptive resurrection. Fantastic facade. 20k GP. Play a ritual though. You're right. Yep, you're absolutely right. Cast time of a week, 20,000 GP. Targets a settlement and its inside of it. Draw a permanent series. Look, sound, feel, smell of the structures. All appearance of existing structured creatures. Add illusory things. Disguise creatures that you please. Third rank illusory disguise. Creature that interacts with the settlement in a way that it's just revealed the illusory nature of the facade, such as by trying to paint the building affected by the facade or climbing the illusory structure, can attempt to disbelieve the illusion. The illusions created by the spell are harmless, so illusory river lava won't cause damage, nor thorns on illusory roach will break some. So it just lets you create the facade, and you have up to a mile radius. So this reminds me a lot of The Interview. You've seen this movie, where basically North Korea is just constantly putting on a facade. And good day to you. I have no idea how to pronounce that name. It has no vowels. Not even gonna try it. Nope. But yeah, this seems fine. But with 20,000 GP, you could just, I don't know, actually make the city a pleasant place to live. But I am gonna drop it into the dock because this could be a thing for world building. If you have a bad guy, a real bad guy who does bad guy thing. Yeah. Oh, the mimicry section of essence. Dark Sky Signs, Teleportation, Circle, War Domain, and Wish. 2 more left. Alright, Perfection of Essence. 45k GP. Great. And foods, herbs, minerals. As far as crafting, only expert? For 10th rank? Yep, Tinzia. So it's gonna have some really absurdist thing you need to do, and then some absurdist restriction in order to get a feat for free, right? Mana Purifying one's head, ingesting the falling poison. 7d12 spirit damage plus a doomed 1, 9d12 spirit damage and confused for 1 minute once every 1d4 minutes, plus doomed 2, and then 9d12 spirit damage, doomed 3, stage 4 death. What? Okay, sure. Hey, no problem. Thank you for watching them. The infamous Bertman. Anathema for this ritual is determined timed ritual. You chose one anathema and the GM chooses 2. You're aware of all of your anathema. Verb anathema might include avoiding physical contact with certain creature or substance, such as members of the bloodline or jade. Eating certain foods, such as meat, grain. Wearing certain items or teals, such as silk or cotton. If the ritual is ended in this way, you must conduct in tone, blah blah blah. Ritual success is success if you choose one anathema and your GM chooses 1. success, you purified your body enough to attain immortality. You're bound by the ritual's anathema, must ingest the final potion to complete your apotheosis. Once you withstood the effects of the poison for 1 day or completely recovered from the poison effects without outside assistance, you gain immortality as follows. You don't age unless you wish to. You can't die except due to old age. Your dying or doom condition would increase to high enough that it would kill you. It does increase, and any effect that instantly kill you instead reduces you to 0 HP. If you ever truly die and aren't returned to life within 1 year, you descend from the heavens as an adult into a new mortal body somewhere in the world. And failure has you failed for saving against poison. Critical failure has the poison also get virulent. Okay, so true immortality is absurd. This is absurd. It's making the list, and it's also being in the player ritual section. Players love making their characters true immortal. But we then have Wish. Actual literal immortality as long as you keep 2 anathemas of GM choice and 1 of your own, unless you crit succeed, in which case you pick 1, GM picks 1. Eternal Rest? I don't know how Eternal Rest interacts with that. I don't want to think about it. Alright. Wish. Cast down for 1 day. Cost a whole bunch of stuff, including a gem worth 100,000 GP with 2 secondary casters. You need to have a legendary primary caster, along with secondary checks and crafting diplomacy. You weave the fabric of reality itself to grant the target's greatest desire. The target declares their wish in a loud voice at the start of the ritual and again at the end. The target's wish can be anything. The Grey Wish is like destruction of entire kingdom or ascension to divinity. GM might decide the wish draws attention to deities or other powerful creatures leading to interference. The ritual attempts to undo the wish. Critical success. The wish is granted without complication or drawbacks. Success. Wish is granted with consequences or side effects. Failure. The wish fails and has no result. The GM can set up the wish be partially granted. It's Wish. You know what Wish does. I have nothing more to say. It is indeed Wish. And Wish will need to be talked about. Now I'm through all the rituals that were Secret of Magic or Remaster. There's so many more rituals. Okay. I may bit off more than I can chew. I think I'm gonna start skipping over the Adventure Path ones. I know this one, it just keeps Fae out of an area. Stolen Fate Player's Guide. The guy arranges on magically manipulate fate when perform a harrowing ritual to... Okay, this is interesting. How to get baited by all the rituals that change name. True. Real. Harrowing starts squared section. You'll play out the actual hero rating if you wish, using any spread to perform the reading. Let the ritual's completion and single opportunity for the target to manipulate fate, balance their destiny. Blah blah blah. As long as ritual's duration persists, the creature is temporarily immune to further harrowing rituals. Critical success, hero suit, blah 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 blah. At any point during hero's duration, wild card to reroll with a +4. Success has them not get the bonus. Failure has the wild card given -4 penalty to the reroll. Critical failure is the wild card has no effect. Further harrowing rituals for 1 month automatically result in critical failures. Sure. 9+1 additional wild card from different. Harrowing's pretty poggers for players. Gotta say it. Definitely pretty pog for players. Alright, moving on to second rank. There's another strength of thousands. Oh, this guy, King's Tomb. Transform the creature with a level 12 loud. Yeah. Not the moon, Season of Ghosts. I'm gonna read it. It's from Adventure Path, but I'm gonna read it. If anybody has a ritual that they know they want me to check out that we haven't covered yet this stream, go ahead and post in chat. But I'm gonna skip over a lot of the Adventure Path ones just because, like, come on, we've been at this for a while. And a lot of them are hyper-specific. I'll read their quick, short description, and if it's interesting, I'll read the full thing. Ooh, Community Repair. That's another Strength of Thousands one. That one might actually be good. So you see, the funny thing about titles is I'm allowed to lie and edit them after the fact, so you look like the fool. No, you see, I am reading every ritual. You see, for these ones here, I read description and the primary check, and I decided, you know, I don't want to read more of it. Alright, so not the moon. Does not specify reading all of every ritual, so I'm technically reading all of them. I just need to read the titles of all of them, which I have. Reading every ritual at like midnight my time. Yep. Perfect time for rituals. You can see the current time for me down here. Oh wait, we might need to... Alright, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna play New York Times Connections because it's a new day. Alright. Yeah. I don't normally play on PC. So, create groups with 4. So kick, thunder, brush, heat, fire, magic, set, gel, clippers, roar, cape, carrot, crash, baseball, spice, boom. Spice is also hot. Because, like, I'm assuming things that are hot is one of the themes. It can also be things that are loud, boom, roar, crash, thunder, things that are loud. Gel clippers hair. Gel clippers brush. I don't see where hair is. Because I see set, magic, fire, carrot, cape, kick, spice, baseball, heat. Yeah. I'm gonna try and zoom in more so that people on bad internets can see it. Especially looking for group areas like when you open a close. Yeah, no, I totally get that. My Discord server has their, like, what's the name of that section of the Discord? I'm not super heavily involved in it, but I know that we have this thing called the Gauntlet, where we'll occasionally just, like, run short combat type thing. Cape is what the barb puts on you. Oh! You're right. And, yeah, that was one of the trickier ones, so there should be a moderately easy one. Magic, tarot. Because these things are kind of related. But I like fire, spice, heat as an option. Spice has a kick! Yes! True! Good! Very good! And then set, magic, baseball, tarot. How's this related? Kinds of cards. Baseball cards, magic cards, set of cards, and tarot cards. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. Okay. Very good. Very, very good. Nice work, chat. We got through it. Now we're gonna go ahead and play Strands. Yeah, Magic the Gathering. Pixar Fair, so we're probably looking at Pixar movies. Sadly, I can't spell animated that easily. What about the blue thumbnail? Let's see here. No L. Right. Alright, so how do we unscramble this, chat? Onions. Ah, interesting. Oh, I thought that people were talking about my thumbnail, not you. Ah, but that's a cool name origin. My name origin is Swing came from I like the swings because I made this count in 3rd grade, and Ripper came from Beyblade. Peppers. So is garlic gonna be on here? Or pizza? I don't see 2 Z's next to each other, so we can't get pizza. Tuna's down there. You're right. You think it all came from when you were a child, played Minecraft, my mother didn't let me put the other farming tool in my username. True. Eggplant. I just had to mess around with it for a little bit. After I saw plant, I knew it was eggplant. Ratatouille. Oh. Yeah, but today's theme is Pixar Fair, and there's always one word that crosses edge to edge of the board. Go diagonal at the first L. Right, to... You're right, yeah, I can go do that and then come back up. So that's the spangram. Tomatoes, zucchini. So those are all the ingredients for ratatouille, the actual dish. There we go. Zucchini. Anyway, back to what we were doing. It was past midnight, so we had to. If I do more midnight streams, we're always gonna have a little break. Yeah. It was a little bit longer for me to catch on. Gotta be honest. But I've been reading Pathfinder rituals for the past, while, so. I'm gonna give myself a little break. Not the moon, Moon King Sea, worth blah blah blah. Not the moon, from the moon is visible in the sky above. Yeah. Oh, sure. Please ignore the food and drink and praise the night's beauty while admiring and thanking the moon. Makes sense where bite marks appear on the moon and cakes and some of the tea disappears as typical no one was looking. So there's sight. Against dark vision, low light vision, no effect. I mean, sure. This seems really expensive for 8 hours of dark vision, you know? Yeah, it's cool and flavorful, but yeah. I mean, if Path Builder did give you the number of different characters you have saved, it would need a way to determine what is a different version of the character or a backup or whatever. Lucky month. This is going to be linked to just that part of town, so I'm going to skip over it. Phantom ship. Yep, this is from the Gatewalker's Adventure Path. I know exactly what this ritual is used. I played that Adventure Path. Let me tell you. It's a thing. Not going to be useful outside of that Adventure Path. That's going to be one we have to look at. This is only going to be useful for that one Adventure Path. A lot of them don't seem to be worth it, but we found a lot of spicy ones earlier in the stream. It's just that I think the ones from Adventure Paths aren't going to be, exceptional a lot of the time. Lucky month. Cost favorite food or drink and a wearable token with personal family. Sneakins, 10 gold pieces total. 3 secondary casters, full day of work. Imbue the provide token with luck. Choose a single creature in range during the ritual performance to become the recipient of the token's luck. Creatures access to token's luck as long as they're wearing it. Token stolen lost, blah blah blah. Critical success once per week when rerolling saving throw or skill check. Reroll it, fortune effect, case luck for a month. Success is critical success and can only call power once during the month. And magical backlash has, yeah. This is fine. Oh no. Just use a hero point. Fine, I'll mark it for players. This is a thing that players would be interested in. It's fine. Regale lost ones. 2 GP, spell level, sediment level, multiply it all together. Sure. 10 GP. So yeah, everybody just kind of spends a day of downtime chanting around a token per party member, so it's a week of downtime every month. Not a week of downtime, but like 4 days of downtime a month. That's not nothing, you know? But I could see some parties repeating it for just like a few free hero points. So anyway, this has a decent price. Performance requires other skills too. Legmont technically better than hero point since you roll 2, pick highest, can't turn to crit fail. Fair enough. Still, I'm not that big on it. Onshore days, increase in hauntings. So this affects haunts. Meh. Okay, let's move on. Settlement level. Rice balls. Rice balls. You cook it. You make it once each winter season. Feed the settlement for a month. Days against motion fear effects till end of winter. Like, yeah, it's cool, but, you know. 2 GP time spell level, time settlements level. This is pretty cheap for food for the hour, but I'll mark it as like a world building thing because it's just like a very cheap way to get food for winter. As like a local thing. Yeah. Arcane Weaving, Strength Thousands, spells, and Naughty Silk and Socials. Lots of people share spells. Okay, interesting. Interesting. It lets you cheat new spells onto your spell list. It doesn't say anything if it must be on your normal tradition. Oh yeah, no, I'm doing a lot of the groundwork to figure out what rituals can kind of be used. This is potentially game-breaking good. Because, like, you know what my thought is? This only works for spell repertoire, so let's say you're playing an arcane sorcerer or something, like an imperial sorcerer, right? And you have an oracle in your party. You say, hey, Mr. Oracle, do you want slow? I'll trade you for heal. And then you simply retrain another one of your spells. That's how you use this. This is busted. Like, this needs an errata busted. There we go. Yeah, this is gross. Okay, moving on. Awaken Portal. Why would Oracle give up heal? Because they can just retrain one of their other first rank spells into heal and signature spell it again. And then they also get slow in it as a third rank spell at that point. You basically just have two casters that have the best spells. And traditions do not matter at that point. Arcane Weaving should have a duration, truly. I'm sure there's some way to abuse it in the Gauntlet. I'm not familiar enough with the types of formats you play there, but it should be abusable. Blah, blah, blah. This requires you to be setting up portals around. Yeah, we're gonna skip it. Contact friends from Dark Archive. $50 GP, secondary caster involved. Cast for 1 hour, duration up to 10 minutes. Ooh, bad ratio. Lasts for 1/60 or 1/6 of the time that takes to cast. Meditate for a moment before mind seeks out others, as well as friends of any secondary casters. Ask each friend a single question. These friends aren't compelled to answer you honestly or answer at all. But those who are your friends are likely to help you if they can, barring special situations. Interesting. There's another, you can ask a friend. Interesting. No, you're asking a past version of them? Because, like, it doesn't say that the actual creature knows that you did this. But I can see players messing with that and using it for, like, interesting stuff. Yeah, could have used an intrigue-based campaigns. Exactly. Mindscape door. Target's level times GP per each target. Secondary cast 3. Yep, targets yourself into 5 on creatures. Mindscape. Immersive Mindscape. Which is an entire extra plane you need to deal with. I mean, I don't get why you'd use this, but cool. I mean, I think I need to read more on Mindscape now. From the Astral Plane, really from the thoughts of the creator. Fail, causing them to be unaware of these properties. I mean, sure. I mean, not necessarily great enough. So this one lets you jump between mindscapes, which we will not care about. Ob Pact, or Aub Pact, or whatever that is pronounced as. Hold on. This thing. A level 6 creature. This unit goal. Only this type of person can use ritual for relative safety. 1 degree success worse. Non-Caligny attempts his ritual, the results in automatic critical failure. Conjure it. So it just has you sometimes get a creature that fights with you. Sure. If you care about the Calignes, you'll care about that, but it's not gonna make my short list. Robbed someone of Shadow. 4 Seasons of Ghost. Two Whispers. Okay. Ransack the night. Cost, salts, citrus fruits, rare spices, price. 25 times spell level, so minimum 75 GP. Regardless has fiends undead or 5th level lower trees, you be concealed. Plus action can steal is concealed against that run dentally. I mean, sure. This seems expensive for you to get, like, concealment. Cast can have an hour, duration 12 hours, so you can set this up at the start of Adventuring Day, in theory. I can see it being useful for a player. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's a useful player tool. Well, concealed also means they have to make a flat check to target you as undead creatures. So now for a zombie to punch you in the face, they need to make a flat check and then roll their attack roll. So, it gives you a 20% damage mitigation against undead and fiends, which is relevant, by all means. Concealed is pretty similar to like a -2 accuracy in terms of the expected damage. And if a ritual said you have +2 AC versus all fiends and undead, you'd pretty strongly feel that's a strong effect. So that's about how you should evaluate concealment. It's that plus you can also sneak. Yeah, on a normal success it disappears on hostile action, but still, at the start of a fight you are concealed to them, and that's +2 AC until you move, which is like the exploration activity Raise a Shield. And you only lose the concealment against that particular undead or fiend that you attacked. So I think it has more utility than you're thinking. I'm not going to call it like the best spell in the game or the best ritual in the game, but I think it has some amount of sauce. And it gets even more sauce when you realize it didn't say that you are concealed to demons of this level or below. It just says you're concealed to all demons or zombies, so you could go when that 75 gold piece cost is pretty trivial. Yeah, it's okay, but situational. If you have the hour to spare and you have enough gold to throw around, it's pretty good. Regale Lost Ones. 2 GP, spell level, 7 level. Okay. Performance with other stuff. And just lets you beat haunts again. Tattoo Whispers. 20 GP for each secondary caster. Blah blah. Same tattoo design. Tattoos on the secondary caster on magical link for a week. Each secondary caster communicates secretly with all the secondary casters by mouthing words making no sound. Meh. Meh. Winter's Breath. So this is better when easier to do when it's cold, because it's about getting together when it's cold out. Make a bunch of thing. Tea is always delicious. That's everybody's true delight. Yes, for restoration and endure elements on each guest. And each guest also gains some. Yeah. Your tea is so depressing that it becomes sick in 3. Oh no. Hey, it's a way for them to get restoration. So I'm gonna go drop that into the like blender of stuff for me to sort through later. Now in level 4 rituals. Already. New repair. Extract brain. See what this one's about. Depression ritual. True! Me when the tea is bad. What? Duh. I think we skipped over Simulacrum entirely, so let's start there. Cost, blah, 300 GP. Targets a living creature, you create a duplicate that impersonates. Oh no, we talked about Simulacrum. No, we talked about Shadow Thing. We did talk about like the dragon illusions. Yeah, we talked about this. It's Shadow Minion, but just like not. Yeah. Shadow Minion is just Simulacrum, but different. I was wondering why I didn't point that out. But that makes sense. It was Shadow Minion. I'm gonna just angle this down a little more. Because I'm not gonna sit up straight in my chair anymore. I'm gonna get comfy. Narrator throughout the performance will be one of the lead performance. Secondary casters do other things. And it's about a specific settlement. Community repair. 1 damage broken public work. Bridge, mural, blah blah blah. GM can offer a circumstance bonus to secondary casters. Anecdote seems most moving. If it was destroyed intentionally by one of the casters, it automatically critically fails. Requires a bunch of people. And on critical success, restored prior construction takes on further quality encouraged by thoughts community for next week. While cast within this distance of the ritual, they get a bonus to will saves and can move faster. Sure. Having a ritual just repair something for 50 gold pieces seems pretty good. Extract brain. Find certain blah blah blah. Willing or restrained creature or corpse, delicately cut and remove creature's brain without damaging the organ. You have an empty brain cylinder on hand. You can place the brain cylinder apart. Brain cylinder, or carrion bone. Yeah, it's a neat ritual for its repair that doesn't require anyone good at magic. And can repair something pretty decently large. Last night's vigil, target one creature whom you love. Love on similar to performed tonight in front of someone whom you love, who's ill, hurt, or otherwise unwell. They wake through the night, keeping second incense lit to guide the goddess's passage. Turn doors, you keep door window slightly ajar to receive her holy presence. Ritual successfully falls asleep for the briefest moments, the sound of snowfall and swishing forks go whisk. Wake moments later, your loved one smiles at you, hopefully in better health. Neat. It's kind of a cute ritual, but like, also not that useful for players. And doesn't mean much for world building, because there are also ways that you can, you know, remove curses and remove diseases via spells. So another option for it, but like I like its flavor. It's just, you know, it's not mechanically there yet. Yeah, it's an interesting way to remove curse or disease without interact. You know, no interact check makes it a lot more interesting. What was the name of that one again? Last night's vigil. I'll go on the list for player rituals. Okay, now we're in level 5s. Aspirational state. I'm just gonna quickly flip open everything that we haven't talked about yet. We haven't actually talked about Planar Alley yet. Oh, this must have been like... Yeah, no, we probably... This is some that, like, the remaster changed name of. Yeah. Yep. The remaster changed that and opened it up to be more people than just deities. Okay. Aspirational state. Aspiration points, magical feedback. This is an adventure path thing. Ignoring. Mosquito blight. 750 GP. Rest the area with biting insects, a drain light. Arthropods are unaffected, and gain a +1 bonus. The blah blah blahs. That must remain in the rituals area. High vis blah blah blah. You can also click with Witch's Hunger. Monster specific ritual, yeah. You must be the Mosquito Witch. Okay, yeah, never mind. This one does not require that requirement, so... Thank you, chat, for pointing out that I made an oopsie there. Wash the eggs clean from filth and death and bury them in warm sand. Okay. This isn't going to be helpful for anybody. Oblivious Expulsion. 150 GP. Sometimes member of cult court's danger. Says the ritual moves all memories of the cult activity practices. Blah blah blahs. Spells hard to detect. Detect magic spells from their effect must be higher level than the Oblivious Expulsion to detect it. You dismiss the spell while casting a spell. You can choose to give this secondary cast ability to dismiss it. Choose to set a key for event that causes the spell to be dismissed. Success, critical success. Okay. Sure. I'm gonna mark this for, like, this could be helpful for a GM and world building, which is the point of this video originally. Summerland spell. Unique ritual. And it talks about specific location. Okay, moving on. Yep, sleeper agents. Yep. Although you are running a risk of, if anybody pings a detect magic of a higher rank, they figure it out. And that's assuming you critically succeed, otherwise any detect magic will just screw you over. Who has cast 7th rank detect magics? 13th level adventurers looking for magic items in the King's Chambers. Alright. Now we have a few more rituals to look at. Not even gonna try to pronounce that. Cost, lavish meal. Vibe, heist. You and secondary cast begin your feast public place. For exactly 8 hours before dusk. When dusk falls, you complete the ritual. Party spreads outward from your initial site. Any celebration or fasting until the ritual comes to an end, or someone uses hostile action as usual. Party appears to spread naturally as others see revelers. They too slowly join until celebration reaches peak size. No effect ends sharply at midnight, but that doesn't mean people stop partying right away if they're enjoying themselves. And so this basically just has you throw a party. It's fine. Or you can just throw a normal party and not need magic. Get good. Bacchanalia. Sure, I believe you. It's not getting my short list. If it was super strong, I would then learn how to pronounce it as a sign of respect. But yeah, I don't think that Bacchanalia is really good enough to make it into the overly long short list. Because I don't think it has that power or that adventure causingness that I'm looking for. From the Sandpoint Devil. There's a form change thing. Sure. Whatever. Regale Lost Ones. Hauntings. This is a ritual that we already looked at. Statuette. Freestanding object. You shrink the item. And then this lets you move it around easier. Sure. I mean, I'll mark it. Alright, Bloodline. Bodily sample from target values belonging to target worth multipliers. Legend noble houses before they rise to powers, rituals completion. A bloodline. So yeah, you just try to kill their bloodline. Yeah, this could be an adventure causing spell. Price rituals level. Stage 1, carry with no effect for a month, then fatigue. Then fatigued and drained, then fatigued and drained 3, and then died. Oh no! Okay. I could definitely see a villain using this one, so it's gonna get marked. Terminate Bloodline gets marked for being a villainous spell. Alright, 7th rank spells. Okay, so that's 1, that's no. Two, that's no. Yeah, like, I think that there is a place for a ritual that just does something really, really big. Like, I'm not seeing any rituals that really will be siege breakers, in a way. You know what I mean? And the Bloodline spell that only affects, like, people that are in the family. So, I don't know. Ravenous Reanimation. You must be an evil dragon. Next! Yeah. Frame Connection. Call forth powerful enemy in front of a crowd of onlookers. 7 questions. We already seen the 7 questions spell. That's already in, like, the list. Yeah. Yep, this one is setting specific. Mark to real duplicate, sure, that could be interesting. Buttered mark, sure. Okay. So Freedom is one that I didn't see a remaster version of. So has a bunch of items as cost, requires legendary and arcana or occultism, secondary check society. Free creature that's imprisoned, petrified, or otherwise put into haste by magical effects, and freedom from all such effects, even from imprisonment that don't have duration. If they're blah 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 blah. Cool. Yep, that's a thing. You would expect this would be a thing a ritual could do, so it does. It's not really notable, so I'm gonna close it out. Ritual that then requires the target to be within 10 feet of you at all times. Yeah, typically requires you to subdue the target first. Yeah. Chains, sure. Prison, sure. Slumber, temporal stasis. I mean, yeah, sure. It is a thing you'd expect a ritual to do, so it does it. At that, I've read so many rituals that the basic ones don't excite me anymore. Split Shadow. 700 or 7,000 GP, my bad, cost. Requires 4 total casters. Primary checks, you create a shadow double of the target. We've already seen this one. Unfettered Mark. The 2 with links to kill Unfettered Mark. Unfettered Mark against the blah blah blah. You can use file or name check while creating the tattoo. Made soul tattoo is replaced. Leave the Stormhold. Yep, that's not good enough. That's a setting specific thing. Unfortunate. Alright. On to the final blade. And it is talking about an actual thing called the final blade that is present in that adventure path. Never mind. Alright, brain, Gios. There we go. Lost ones, resurrect, for replication, teleportation, circle, vital singularity. That's new. One new thing. This is a 1/9 rank ritual that we haven't covered yet. Alright. Started streaming 3 hours ago. Hell yeah. Cast an hour, crush rubies worth 2,000 gold pieces, 3 secondary casters. Has a primary check of legendary, a couple secondary checks. Fortitude as a secondary check. Interesting. That's like the first time we've seen this the entire time. Saving throw being a secondary check. Will is also listed there as a secondary check. That's new. That's different. Even after all this time, it's still something different. Willing die save your life, you can grant them that wish. Allowing sacrifice energy to you by allowing life as to drain out of them to protect you when you're in danger. Daddy, you can't cast Final Singularity. You take damage and calculate the total amount of damage, including immunities, resistance, weaknesses, and any other effects of medication. Divide the amount by 4, rounding down. You and each secondary casters lose that many hit points. The secondary caster doesn't have enough hit points to give before dropping to 0. You take any remaining damage from them as well. Secondary caster reduces. Lose that many hit points. Is that like letter? Thus, life leaves their body, so it's a death effect. Critical success. Light from your secondary caster envelops you in warm radiance. Build a full hit point upon completion. Sure. I mean, this isn't great, in all honesty. But I could see a big bad guy doing this with some minions that have a lot of 8 meat points that they then lock away in a dungeon somewhere to just have quadruple HP on themselves. I could see that. But that is also unfun as all hell. So I'm not going to suggest people do that. I think they intended for this to be used in like a player party, so that like, this one needs to be protected, so now we're all protecting them, haha. But yeah, no, that's gonna be bad. The fun ways that means the actual fight. But if they're intelligent enough to be able to cast this spell, they're not gonna have those minions in this fight. There is no ranged listed. You know, I'm gonna mention it as something that's probably broken. Alright, now for 10th rank rituals. Duration 3 hours and... Okay. The duration is what makes it fair. Okay. And it also requires 2,000 gold pieces. Okay, yeah, that's... It's getting more fair. Let's see what this one's about. Tear apart the mindscape, sure. Yeah, this is the only one we haven't read yet that isn't super setting dependent. Oh no. The inspiration was this. Setting specific. Woo! That's the end of it. That's the rituals done. And now I have my short list of rituals that can do big things in world building. Well, this was sure a thing of I indeed read a lot of stuff. Yeah, it is probably still good ignoring the setting specific part. You're right. PF2e? Yeah. So if you normally succeed, you get resist 5 to all damage. Yeah. Wait. It doesn't have a material cost. This one's going to the slightly broken category, but for different reasons. There we go. Will I be sharing the list? Yeah, I'll go ahead and post to my Discord. Link in the description below. Also, subscribe while you're down there. Make sure to like, comment once this becomes a VOD. I'm gonna go post it in Swing Ripper video discussion. Actually, no, I'll go post it in announcements. Okay, there's the list. It is now out there in the Discord. Sanglorithicus is only versus evil creatures. You see, the thing is, all the alignment damage as per the remaster transfer over rules just gets turned to spirit damage with the holy trait. So it's actually more versatile than good damage previously was if you're doing it by the conversion guide's guidance. Which you don't have to do, but like that's guidance given. Yeah, who cares about good damage? True, real. I'm getting really tired. I should not have decided to stream at this time. Yeah. You probably want for the resistance 10 doll damage. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to be looking at ending stream soon here. If people have final things they want to say, you can feel free to say it as you recursively see my recording setup. They did make good damage affect neutral creatures. They also made it affect good creatures because it's spirit damage with a trait. I just wanted to see with the lag of the stream, just... I can... Oh, that's not as fun. I need to... That guy's a fool. That guy right there, he's not that smart. He's not... Anyway. With that, I'll be ending stream. And I'll see y'all next time. Go join the Discord if you're not there already. Peace.